Speaking recently on his Believe You Me podcast, the UFC Hall of Famer said that former two-division champion Conor McGregor is actually the person with the most to gain come UFC 242, that is if Poirier can pull off the upset. If I'm McGregor, he's probably hoping and praying that Poirier beats Khabib in Abu Dhabi, Bisping said. Because if Poirier beats Khabib, obviously we all know Conor has that massive win over Poirier. He did it very easily. He made short work of Poirier back in the day. Alright, it was at 145, it was a long time ago, but even still, if Poirier wins there's a possibility of setting up that rematch. That's his shot and easier shot at the title. McGregor has been conspicuously absent from the cage, despite having his name linked to a number of potential matchups. Conventional wisdom is that McGregor is in a contract dispute with the UFC over his pay, particularly his interest in an ownership stake in the company, but Dana White recently suggested that McGregor is actually waiting until after UFC 242 to see how this whole thing plays out. That lends credence to Bisping's belief that a Poirier win means McGregor would once again jump the line for a title fight. Of course, he may jump the line anyway. McGregor is the biggest star in UFC history, and though he lost a one-sided beatdown to Nurmagomedov in October, afterwards Khabib jumped the fence and started a brawl with McGregor's team that resulted in a number of fines and suspensions being handed out. The bad blood has only continued to boil since then, with McGregor and Khabib going after one another in public to the point that Dana White had to intervene. All that has laid the groundwork for a lucrative rematch between the two, which even Bisping has to admit is possible with the UFC. I don't know if he gets that fight, Bisping said. Even if Khabib wins, I don't think he gets the rematch. The Poirier fight, definitely, I can see them doing that. I don't see them doing the Khabib rematch. From the UFC's perspective, they're going to do it because it was the biggest pay-per-view they've ever done, and the rematch is going to be even bigger. Simple as that. Rematches sell, especially with the amount of bad blood, especially with what happened after the fight outside the octagon last time. The rematch will be huge. I just think Conor has to win another fight first. But at the same time, money does talk. Maybe. Maybe because A, as I said before, the numbers were massive, so why wouldn't they want to do that again? And B, the public will buy it. They will 100% lap that up. It all depends on whether Khabib gives it to him. And honestly, Khabib probably wants to. There is a good possibility. If that were to happen, a number of top lightweights would be livid, namely Tony Ferguson. Ferguson is currently riding a 12-fight winning streak and more than deserves a shot at the winner of Khabib Poirier, especially since McGregor is only 3-2 in his last 5 fights. One of those fights, though, holds the key for McGregor though, according to Bisping. A rematch with Jose Aldo that has been rumored as being considered, potentially for the UFC's yearly venture to Madison Square Garden. That's the fight to make, if I'm honest, Bisping said. Listen, Conor's got to get back in the winning circle. If he fights Khabib, more than likely that's not gonna happen. Could he catch him with a good shot and rock him and follow it up? Yeah, of course he could. But more than likely Khabib's gonna take his best shot, he's gonna take him down, and we're gonna have a replay of what happened last time. Aldo and McGregor, the build-up to that fight was huge, and it ended amazingly in 13 seconds, and well done to McGregor. I think people would love to see that because a lot of people feel that Aldo can do better in the rematch, and that's definitely a very winnable fight for Conor. We saw what happened the first time. That makes sense. Aldo's coming off a loss, McGregor's coming off a loss. Pair them together, Madison Square Garden, there's your main event, winner gets a title shot.